friends to the show that never ends. Emerson, Lake and Palmer. I carry the dust of a journey that cannot be taken away. Well, it's all about music, opera, girls with hairy armpits. This is Italian food, okay? That's the end of ever I'll have any Italian girlfriends. Right, here we go. This is a good old fashioned, even thingy, spaghetti bolognese, or in this case for me, linguine bolognese, and in the case for Michelle, spaghetti that's gluten-free. She's like fucking bootlaces. All right, so everyone's got their own idea. This is the spaghetti, the pasta. The bolognese sauce is basically a meat sauce. Okay, a little bit of, you can put whatever you want in it, really. I tend to make it a bit chunky. You know, I put carrots in it and bacon and things like this. The first time this was ever cooked for me was by Kevin Lamming up there in Blackpool. And for those of you who look on Facebook and see Kevin, who's in lockdown now, he has a pet seagull outside, which he calls Eric, that turns up for his dinner and pecks at his flat window. And Kevin looks like, the seagull looks in better nick than Kevin, to be quite honest with you. And there's only evens that in a minute he will eat that seagull because he'd be too idle to go out down to Asda's. So spaghetti bolognese, that was that's what Kevin cooked when we were out on the road, staying in these little rented houses. I couldn't cook for shit, but it's basically a meat sauce thrown on some pasta. Okay, so what we've got the spaghetti, we've got a couple of onions. I'll show you how to do it in a minute. We'll have some close-ups. Some bacon, look at that. Should be streaky really, but Michelle don't like that. Minced beef, this is 10% fat, which is not really what I like the other stuff. Carrots, what's up, Doc? And some celery, some chopped tomatoes, Liam Perrin's Worcestershire sauce, puree, oregano and thyme. Fresh thyme if you got it, but as I say, the dog's pissed up mine. This is chicken stock. You could have beef stock or oxo, but it can be a little bit rich if you're not careful. Here's some chopped tomatoes that Michelle spewed up this morning after drinking 3 bottles of gin last night. And this is some Merlot. It's a rather attractive little foot mark on there, isn't it? Sets it off, not a chateau or something like that in France, a fucking foot. But here we go. Let's first of all make sure this is all right. It's a bit Keith Floydy all this, isn't it? Valencia, stick your head between your legs and whistle up your Barcelona. What? Well, Spanish, Italian, same thing. Okay, we're going to cook some spag bowl. Okay, let's chop some of this food up. I tend to use a big knife whenever I can. A, because it's the sharpest, and B, when I first started cooking, it was Chinese food. And I always cooked with one of them things that came with the sort of Ken Hung pack. Right, you're on it too big. Pull them off. Okay, a bit more there. Liven them up. Watch your fingers. That's enough, I think. Throw them in the bin. Put these here. Okay. Now then, get your catapult. Normally, once you shave these Bugs Bunnies, the shavings go into the stock, and these other bits go into the stock, but they're going into there today. Chop that off of there, take a dish off of there, and we want to try and get these the same size, so I normally cut these in half first, and then making sure that you get them about that size, and then half. Okay, again half, again half. We don't want these too big, otherwise it's like making vegetable soup. Okay, as I say, you don't have to add carrots. You can just have meat and a few tomatoes. Make their ones a bit bigger. So they're a bit crunchy. Let's chop these up. Okay. Good enough. Good enough for jazz. Have a few more? Yes. Let's have a few more. So these are the thinner ones. There we go. Them over there. And pardon me, boys. Is that the Constitution? Talking of Italian food, did anyone ever listen to a band called PFM in the 70s? They're actually called, we'll put this in together because they're both the same. They were called Premiata Forneria Marconi, PFM. And they signed to ELP's label, Manticore. Well, this is streaky bacon. Good. Bloody hell, she must have picked the wrong stuff. So I get some of these out with your nice clean fingers. We'll chop them up into little that sizes, okay? Then we'll sprinkle them all up and fry them off. How many do we want? I like a bit of bacon in this, so a little bit more. Okay. Quick wash of the hands. Okay, and let's go back for the onions. Right, so as I was saying, you've got that, this bit here, that's the thing in, so cut that quite tight to that, so that holds that together. Cut the pointy bit off, throw them in the funny bin, in half, skins off. Take half the bloody onion with it, I do, but you know. It's not as if I've got some head chef going to come up and give me a bollocking, is it? So let's have a look at this. Fresh onions are much better. These are bastards because they're all sweaty and horrible. It's like picking up an eyeball. Okay, so let's remember. So that's the funny end. So we cut towards that. Cut towards the bit that holds it all together. I know you're thinking this is a bigger knife, but you see, I like to work with a big knife. Never work with a blunt knife because you know that would be murders. So we're cutting these up quite fine. So I mean, we don't have to be professional chefs. Anyone can do this. Here's a tip, look, told you before, turn your knife over. Okay, let's get these in here. I'll probably do another one actually, if you're watching this. So you need a big onion, they're a little fartas onions. Fartas? Fartas onion? What is fartas onion? Okay, let's start browning the mince and start cooking. Okay, so let's get this pan hot. What I tend to do, I have two pans. I have this one at the back, which I'll throw stuff in once it's cooked. So I'll fry the stuff up here, put it in there, and then add the liquid. Then we'll see how it goes. Okie dokie. This is the old funny, nearly a griddle pan. It's got a face like, you know that SAS guy, Mark Billingham, Billy Billingham? It's got his complexion. You'll have the good manners not to mention I said that, won't you? Okay. Let's get these in here. Start to brown off. Okay. Quick down, wash my hands. I always use 2 spoons for this. because I'm two-faced. Get that? Want to brown this nice and quickly. There's quite a bit in this pan, so there's going to be a bit of liquid coming out of it, and we don't want this to boil. So we'll do it quite quickly and let it simmer down. In the meantime, have a swig. And there, as you can see, a lot of that shitty liquid that's in this mince has now gone. We're browning it up nice and quickly. Like the funny thing under the orange one, the Blackpool Football Club colours, the tangerinis. Spoon that in there. It's not rocket surgery, is it? Right, so all we've done so far is brown the mince. Got some bits and pieces in there, but that doesn't matter. That we'll deglaze that later. So, in with our bacon. Okay? We need to just crisp these up a little bit. Try and separate them. Because they stick together, you know, they start breeding and have little porky pigs. I heard a cuckoo the other day, first time here, and my missus didn't know anything about cuckoos apart from that they go cuckoo. And I said, did you know that they don't build a nest? And she said, no, why is that? I said, because they live in a clock. She actually didn't know that a cuckoo lays its egg in another bird's nest. And then when the big cuckoo pops out the egg, it fucks off all the other birds, does them in. Murder. Who'd be wildlife? Okay, so there. Take it on a bit. While we're doing that, we'll throw this other shit in. Throw the onions. There you go. One side for them, one side for these. Oh, that's a great smell, isn't it? Got that burning, so we'll pull that off of there for a second. Okay, and then we're going to throw in some of these. The old white, green and orange, the old Irish flag, my mother's flag. The tricolour. Did you know my mother's family come from Ireland? Yeah, my mother come from Ireland. From County Cork, from Oi. Marvellous. Which reminds me of the film The Quiet Man. There you go. That looks alright, doesn't it? In here, we'll add our tomatoes. Quite a lot of chopped tomatoes. Give them a stir. In here as well, we can put our garlic. Nice big dollop of garlic. A little bit of red Signal toothpaste. There you go, about a tablespoon of that. Stir him up. See how these boys are getting on. They're just taking on a little bit of colour there, so that's alright. While they're just finishing off, we're going to add a little bit of thyme. As I say, not too much. That much, that's all. It's all in there because it's fucking fine. And a little bit of a taste of Italy. Sophia Loren's knickers. Fucking hell, that would be a taste of Italy, wouldn't it? Bit of Worcester in there. If you're doing this at home, and then we're gonna pour them, turn that off, I'll burn these friggin' hands to pieces, into there. Spilling most of it all over the new clean cooker. Okay, then we're gonna get some wine and deglaze this pan. Good old scrape. Get all that cack off the bottom. Turn that off or I'll burn myself to pieces. Okay. Bring this over here. Now we're going to add the liquids. We're done with that. Give that a good stir. Look at that. Doesn't that look lovely? It's basically a meaty sauce. So, in we go. Red wine. For this, half a bottle. Wonderful. And then, I like to add some chicken stock. Okay? Give it a good stir. Look at that. A little taste. Ah! Yeah, a bit of pepper. Bit of salt. It's not too spicy. Michelle don't like it too herby, you know. A bit too Sophia Loren's gusset. I just have to be filthy, don't I? Not worth cake bees. We're going to let that simmer now. Bring to the boil. Nearly to the boil. Let that simmer for an hour and a half. You can do this for 4 hours if you want. But it's got to be about an hour. Okay? Lid on, lid off. You don't want it to reduce too much. Put the lid on a bit if it starts reducing, or half on. Okay? It's been on about an hour and a half. It's reduced right down. We've got 2 lots of water on because Michelle has the funny pasta with no pasta in it. Give it, always have a little taste of your food. One to get the taste buds working, and then one. Michelle, you reckon this needs more wine, didn't you? No, I'm said you're probably right. Okay, so boiling water, bigger pan as you got for your pasta, otherwise it goes all fucking gooey. Right, so let's get this shit in. This is Michelle's free-form. Do you want all of this in? Free from. Oh, you want all that? Right, okay. So this is just boiling water, salted. This is linguine, which has got a bit more, well, it's thicker, isn't it? So I get them in. Just push them down when they're ready. You can make your own stuff. I used to do it, you know. You can get one of them pasta machines and get some 00 flour with some egg and stuff, and make it all up like a proper Italian. Put PFM on, or opera, or Who's that? Not Pavarotti, who's the other geezer? Andreas Bocelli. Andreas Bocelli is the most fantastic opera singer, and he's blind, poor chap. I hope that's not offensive saying blind. You have to say something else now probably. Anyway, I went to see them all the guys at the Royal Variety Show, and I sat in the audience. I wasn't on it, I sat in the audience. Andrea Bocelli was on, and he'd already done my TV show. And on it was Lennox Lewis, Joe Pasquale, Bradley Walsh, all the lads. And at the end, they were all stood in a line for the finale, and I'm clapping like mad. And Bradley Walsh turned to Joe Pasquale and said, "Look, there's Jim Davidson there." And Andrea Bocelli said, "Is Jim here? Is he in the audience?" And Lennox Lewis said, "Yeah, there he is, there, look. Can't you see, what, are you blind?" Big sharp intake of breath. And Joe Pasquale said, "Who said that? I never." There you go. I don't think he meant any harm. Lennox Lewis. Nice guy. Right, so that's going to go on there. You cook that till it's cooked. You're supposed to throw it against the wall, and if it sticks, it's done. I do that with my old pants. Right, so my pasta's done, so I'm going to pass this over to the sous chef, or in this case the Michelle chef, to pour that into a calendar, please. Then let's have a little check on Michelle's stuff. I think that's pretty much done too. Now the idea is, what you would do, you would take the pasta to the bowl of sauce. But we can't do that because we have different types. Sometimes I put a bit of butter in that, but I won't today. I won't bother. Give that a good old dripping out. There we go. There you go, that's mine. Let's get Michelle's now. I hope it's ready.
I'm not sure it is, love.
You're not sure it is?
No.
How are you not sure it is? Just a guess, yeah?
No, because I just tested it a second ago.
Looks alright to me. Shall I try and throw it against the wall stuff?
Yeah, go on. No. See? It's not ready.
Well, how did you? That's ready. I think I'm just a bad thrower. Okay, so here, look at mine, look. Boot laces. Fantastic. Now you can either add salt, pepper, a little bit of butter in there. The old professional people, they put butter on it. The chefs. Oh, what's his face? What's his name, the geezer you used to know down in Winchester?
I don't know. James Martin.
Yeah, James Martin with the boat. James Martin with that small boat. Yeah, he puts butter in everything, doesn't he? I like his new series, Highlands and Islands. I quite like that. So look, here we go. Plonk that on there. Shouldn't really do this. You should take, with this in a bowl, I fucking hate that. Take the pasta to the bowl. Okay? Michelle, put yours in there. I'll have it here. Give us it here. We don't want you on camera, frightening the children. She's like, they're indoors, really. Look at the colour of that. You've got to get off this gluten-free shit. Put up with the stomach aches. There, look. You like a lot of juice, don't you? In fact, you don't like this. I can tell by it's not the type of thing you want, because you ain't fucking cooked it. Up this lockdown, I swear to fucking God. As soon as this lockdown is over.
Lockdown?
Yeah, I'm off. I'm fucking off, I swear to God. You can shut up and all fucking thing. I just came back from the shed to get something to charge the camera up. I got shit all up my jeans.
Nice.
Well, nothing to do with the dogs, it was that glass of red wine I had. Okay, let's put that there when Michelle says, "Oh, I don't like it, but she'll want some more." And we'll grate some of this. I never used to like this stuff on it, because it always smelt of Kevin Lamin's feet.
Oh, I'm not having any.
Don't have any then.
No, not now.
Yeah, you don't want any of that. Okay. Bolognese tagliatelle and bolognese with gluten-free, plasticky tasting cardboard shite.
Squirrel.
You what? And who was the bloke that used to stick his hand up that young bird with the nappy on?
Ralph Harris.
An Englishman, a Scotsman, an Irishman, a Welshman, a Gurkha, a Latvian, a Turk, an Aussie, a German, a Yank, an Egyptian, a Jap, a Mexican, a Spaniard, a Russian, a Pole, a Lithuanian, a Jordanian, a Kiwi, and a Swiss, a Finn, a Canadian, a Romanian, a Bulgarian, a Jew, a Muslim, a Buddha, and a Hindu all went into a nightclub.
That's right, welcome back to Britain's Got Talent.
Oh,
Not quite.
No.
Try again.
Two couples, we're going to have to, I'm sorry to say, we're going to have to ban sex. So it'll have to be done, I'm afraid.
Anyway, it comes to 12 o'clock. He said, you see that jobby there? He says, aye. He said, that's my wife's. He said, how'd you know that? He said, I've got my sandwiches tied to it.
Little ones. Deadly. Oh, Trump.
I turn round,
He stood.
it's still like this.
Denzel Pemberton. He said, yeah. He said he'd been going out with twins, Bobby. Going out with twins, Denzel. I said, Denzel, how do you tell them apart? He said, Dorian has got blonde hair and Brian has got a cock.
Thank you very much. It's lovely. It's just lovely. Look.